Hi everyone, it's Mari here for Honeybee Stamps. I'm going to be creating this sweet little card for you today using the gorgeous Lovely Layers Front Porch die set. This is a large die set that includes all of the pieces that you need to create this really adorable front porch scene. So gorgeous. I really love that one large die there too for the base that creates that rock impression when you die cut it. So this is just a really unique and amazing die set. I love it so much. There's also a holiday add-on that creates little bits to your scene that have a holiday theme. So a little Christmas tree and a snowman and a wreath and so on. Really fun. And then coordinating along with your dies come these little cards that help you to see how everything layers together. So Honeybee has really taken all of the guesswork out of it for you and made it super easy. This is the base for my project here. This is the die that has the stones on it, and I've cut that from some silver cardstock. I did go ahead and ink blend some black soot on it, but it actually doesn't really show other than at the bottom. So in future, I would probably skip that step. This is some picked raspberry distress ink, and I'm going over my pink cardstock with my second layer here from the bottom. So I'm working from the bottom of the project up. So this would be the next layer that you would work with and add on to that silver base. So I'm just going in with my ink blending brush and my bright pink ink onto that really nice soft pink cardstock, just to create a little bit of definition and detail on this cardstock with the ink that I'm blending on here. So I just wanted a little bit of that brighter pink over top of that light. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and add my Honeybee Stamps liquid adhesive onto the back of this die cut piece and adhere it onto that gray base or the silver base. So here you can just see this is going to cover up all of that black soot ink blending other than at the very bottom there. And a lot of that even at the bottom is barely going to show when I put all of the layers on. Now I just wanted to take a little bit of my picked raspberry again here and just darken up some of that pink in those areas now that I have these layered together. And just wanted to add that detail. Now this next piece, the next layer, I've die cut from white, and I'm going to just take my pink ink and just add a tiny little bit of pink to the edges of this. You can barely even see it, but just wanted to add a little bit of pink detail there to that piece. And now I'll go ahead and adhere that onto my pieces here for the next layer. So you can just see how that's going to layer so nicely over top. And we're just going to get this really fun, cool layered piece when we're all finished. Just going to make sure I'm pressing in all of those different areas to make sure that's adhered. And now these two little pieces are next, and I've die cut those from my pink again, and just going in with that picked raspberry to give a little bit of detail and shading to those two pieces. I'm going to go ahead and just using that guide, the card with the instructions on it, I'm using that to guide me through layering all of these pieces onto my project. And I'll just go ahead and add my liquid adhesive onto these two little pieces and add them on. These pieces fit onto the areas really, really easily. It's really, really simple to assemble these. Now I've die cut the next piece here. This is some of the roof detail, and it does have a wood grain detail on it, which is really fun. That's embossed into the paper when you die cut it. I've added that little bit of the picked raspberry ink, and now I'm going to go ahead and add this onto my project for the next layer. So just get that added on and just give that a really good press until I feel like that's adhered well. And now I'm going to go on to the door detail. So the little door I've cut out of red cardstock, and the base for the door area is white. I thought I was going to use a little bit of candied apple on all of my reds, but it doesn't really show up. So I decided to just sort of ixnay that, and I'll go right to black soot and just use a little bit of black soot on the door and all of the other, well, most of the other red pieces here. So I'll just go ahead and add the door onto that white base. And just going to try to avoid getting glue all over the place here. And just adding that in there, just kind of just centering it and using those embossed lines on that white base to help me with that door placement. Now these two little side lights go on either side of the door. And again, I will say that the base piece that's white there has everything embossed so that you know exactly where these go for placement. And I'm just using a little bit more of that black soot over top of the red just to add that little bit of definition and detail. I will adhere these little side lights on with some liquid adhesive and add those into the impressed areas that are in that white cardstock. And once I'm finished that, I'll be ready to move on to the next step. Now, I am going to fill in those little window spaces that are just, you can see the white cardstock showing through there and those little window panes. I will be filling those in a little bit later. So here's that little arched window that goes over top of the door. Super cute detail. I've die cut that from red as well. I'll just go ahead and add that down. And these are the little columns that go to the other side of the door. This is just, again, such fun detail. The honeybee has thought of everything here. All of these little details just really make this come alive and make it so special. So I've die cut those from white, and I'll go ahead and glue those in place. Now this whole door piece, I'm going to bump up with some foam adhesive here, and I'll just center that onto the opening there for the door. And now you can just see that dimension that's been added there that looks really cool. Now I did die cut the two little trees from some bright green cardstock, and I'm going to add a little bit of aqua cardstock to the base for where the pots are, or the impression of the pots is going to be there. And I've got those glued on there now. I'm going to add a little bit of Rustic Wilderness Distress ink to the trees for a little detail. Now I die cut out the little light garland here, and instead of using the die that has the little bulbs, I used the die with the little dots that I suppose would have been used for decorating the tree. I wanted them to almost look like kind of little twinkle lights. So I die cut out those little circles out of the aqua cardstock again. And I've put a little dot of glue onto each one of those bulbs, and I'll just add those little aqua dots on there. Now I cut my bows from the aqua cardstock as well, and there's 3 layers for the bows: the base layer, the little detail layer over top, which is the actual bow, and then the little knot. And I die cut the knots for each of my bows out of a darker teal cardstock, just as a little accent. Now this is the little flourish piece, a little, I guess you could call it a banner or a swag that's going to go across the top of the house there. I die cut that from red, and I'm just going to glue that flat to the house. And the little lights are going to go below that, and then these sweet little ribbons, sweet little bows, I'm going to pop up on foam adhesive and add those where that little swag goes up. So you'll just see here in this transition where I've added each one of those little bows with some foam adhesive, and then that little garland of twinkle lights is going to just go below that. So super, super cute. Again, these details are just so adorable. I love this, and I'm really hoping that Honeybee comes out with an add-on for all of the different seasons for this lovely layer front porch. It is so, so cute. So there's my little tree. I'm going to add some little decorations there with the little die cut pieces. So the pieces that were the garland that's kind of meant for the lights, that string of lights, I actually wanted to use for lights on my tree. So I die cut those from aqua, and then the other tiny little die I die cut from red. And so those are just going to be my little decorations for my tree. Now I realized I forgot to put a piece underneath the trees here. So in the next transition here, you're going to see I've taken the tree off, and I forgot to put this little die cut stone kind of base for those posts over to the side. So I've added those on, and now I'm just going to go ahead and add the trees over top with some foam adhesive to give them a little bit of dimension there as well. Now I'm going to go into all of the little window panel sections on both the side lights and then that arched window above, or the side windows, and then that arch window at the above. I've die cut that die again from some white glitter cardstock, and I'm just paper piecing that glitter paper into those openings just to give every one of the window panes in those side lights and that arched window a really pretty shiny look. Now this is an A2 size card, top folding card base. I'm going to put that base die on there, leaving the roof overlapped at the top so that it doesn't cut the where it's hinged, and that's going to give you your hinge base for your card base. So I've also die cut out an extra piece for the inside of the card just to make it a little bit heavier. And I'll just snip off that extra little piece there so that it fits inside of my card base. So I'll just go ahead and glue that to the inside there, and that's going to make the back of my card base stronger because this is going to be fairly top heavy with that front porch. It's fairly heavy. So I just wanted to make sure that the back of the card base is going to be heavier as well. So I'll just glue this piece over top, and that's going to give my card base lots of strength. Now I'll just go ahead and add my card front, all of my little front porch details, onto the card base, just lining them up at the bottom. And that's going to complete my card details with my card base. So I'll just show you here how that stands up. And then, of course, it opens up to reveal the inside of the card. It's just a really nice, fun card shape. This beautiful snowflake set here, which I will link up below as well, has just the most beautiful sentiments. I believe this set's called Let It Snow. And I'm going to use one of the sentiments from that set for the inside of my card. I love the sentiments that are part of the Holiday Wishes collection are all gorgeous. They're so beautiful and there's so many choices. So I wanted to use this one. I stamped it out in black and then I die cut it as well with a coordinating die set. And I'll just go ahead and glue that to the inside of my card for the sentiment for my project. Now I also wanted to add a little bit of sparkle and shine, so I'm going to go in with some Stardust stickles here. I'm going to add those to the little ornaments on the tree and then those little twinkle light garland across the top of the house. Friends, that is it for my card project today. I hope you were inspired. I have linked up in the description box below to all of the different products that I've used for my Honeybee Stamps Lovely Layers Front Porch card today, as well as the holiday add-on. So really, really love these die sets. I think they are just so beautiful. Have an amazing day, friends, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Stay well. Bye-bye.